Wow, so she got a Dyson, so now she's gonna make a whole video about the Dyson and start convincing people to get a motherfucking Dyson. Wow.
Yes.
Hey Gorilla, I'm Nemesis. Welcome or welcome back to my channel.
So,
before we get started, let's talk about the song of the Diffuse week. If you're not new to this channel, you know how much we stand the R&B girls. You know the R&B girls. You know them very well. And one of them, Miss SZA, released a very random fucking song called I Hate You. And I didn't know that we needed it, but we needed it. So that's the song of the week. That woman could drop a song of her just singing the alphabet and I will still nominate it for song of the week because everything that comes out of her mouth is golden. All right, let's carry on. So this is all by the title of today's video. You know what we about to do? We're about to fucking learn how to diffuse hair. Yes, we will. And as you can see, I've been moving her around a lot. We got this Dyson Supersonic in this motherfucking house, bitch. My boyfriend got me this beautiful hair dryer as a birthday gift. And wow, I love her. We gotta name her. Comment down below name suggestions for her because I need to name this bitch. Listen, almost every single wavy and curly YouTuber has raved about the Dyson. I'm not here to convince you to get it. I'm just gonna show you how I've been using it, how I've been using this attachment and this attachment to get my perfect like diffused hairstyle, I guess. But do not worry if you don't have the Dyson. It's not like you need this blow dryer or these specific attachments to get the perfect diffuse out. I mean, that's it. We're just gonna learn how to diffuse wavy hair today for both volume and definition, of course. So without further ado, take it away, wet-haired nemesis. Hi there. Let's get to diffusing. Alright, so as you can see, my hair is wet and she has been styled. I'll link down below the products that I used for today, but you already know them all. There's nothing new in here. So let's jump in right away with the diffusing portion. The first thing that I've actually said already like 2 or 3 times in my channel, every single time that I talk about diffusing, you gotta start with the roots, baby girl. You gotta start with the root. The longer your roots are damp, the less volume you're gonna have at the root. There's no point in trying to get this dry if this up here is soaking wet. So for my roots, I'm gonna be using the hovering method, the hovering style, the hovering way. And for that, I'm actually going to put my heat all the way up and my speed all the way up as well. I know a lot of curlies say that you should never diffuse on high heat because it can cause a lot of damage. Obviously, you don't want to burn your hair. But with the hovering method, since you are going to be diffusing from this distance and you are going to be moving like this, the heat damage won't be nearly as fatal or as bad as you might think. Depending on the diffusing technique that you use, you adjust the heat setting, babes. This root hovering step, you can do it while having your hair parted in the middle or wherever it is that you're gonna part your hair after you're done drying it. For me, it's in the middle, but also I like doing this, flipping my hair to the side and also hovering right here at the roots on my side, flipping it over to the other side, doing it everywhere, but hovering at the roots at first. After you feel that your roots are dry or close to being dry, they feel maybe just a tiny bit damp, that's when you can move on to the rest of your hair. Now, there are different techniques to diffuse the lower parts of your hair. You can either use hovering, which is absolutely great for definition, and through that technique, you'll get the least amount of frizz possible. Or you can use the technique that I like using, which is cupping the hair or scrunching, whatever it is that you want to call it. I don't know. Does it have an official name? Bitch, I don't know. This technique helps way more with volume rather than definition, but you can get a good balance of both. The reason why this technique helps a lot with volume is because you are basically drying your hair or blowing air to your hair against your own hair cuticle. This can of course create a bit of frizz. That's why you might have a little bit of like flyaways here and there when you're done diffusing this way. But as I've said many times on this channel, this type of frizz is not bad because this is a type of frizz that gives your hair texture, that gives your hair volume. But if you do this technique delicately without scrunching in your hair too much, that can decrease the amount of frizz and also gel casts Yes, baby. And the other reason why this technique also helps a lot with volume is because since you're scrunching in or like cupping the curls all together against your scalp, it helps them dry in a more like scrunched up or coil tighter type of way. So the ringlets are gonna be a little bit juicier, they're gonna be a little bit more plump, therefore leading to more volume. And that's why it's my favorite technique of all. Thank you very much. And as I mentioned, the heat setting that you use for diffusing depends on the technique that you use. For this specific technique, you should use low to medium heat because you're going to be concentrating that amount of heat very, very close to your hair. But you can definitely put the speed like all the way up, baby girl. You can of course decide if you want to do it with your hair just parted in the middle and just focus on that. My preferred and most effective way of doing it and getting the best results possible is diffusing while having my hair flip to the front, then flip to the side, flip to the other side. That way I can really get inside my hair and inside the curls. This not only speeds up the whole process of getting my whole entire head of hair dry, but it helps a whole lot with volume. Something super, super cool about the Dyson diffuser specifically is, so you see the prongs, right? The prongs have also little holes in them so that the airflow can go through the prongs too, making it even speedier for the drying time. Regular diffusers don't usually have that. This is the diffuser that I used to use before the Dyson, and it doesn't have that. It has the little holes, but it doesn't have the holes in the prongs. All right, so depending on the density of your hair, the porosity of your hair, and the power of your own hair dryer, those three things will determine the amount of time that you're gonna have to take on doing this particular step. In my case, this step using this specific hair dryer can take me 10, the most 15 minutes. It's a very powerful hair dryer, and plus I have medium density and my hair is not thick at all. With this diffuser and the old hair dryer that I was using, it also wouldn't take me that long. Maybe instead of 10 to 15 minutes, it will take me more like 20, you know, 20 to 25, because the hair dryer wasn't as potent. But you know, it's not gonna take you a whole hour to do this, I hope, unless you have like super thick long hair, which in that case I want it. Give it to me, I will pay you money. Now you might be wondering, how do I know when I stop doing it? Well babes, when you start feeling this like crunch on your hair, it no longer feels wet, it just feels a little bit like you feel the cast from all the products that you use to style developing. You might not get a super hard cast if you didn't use that much gel, but you'll definitely feel it on your hair when it's like, okay, I'm done. But now before going straight into scrunching out the crunch and being done with this, I actually have one more thing that I have to show you that can help you achieve more volume at the root if you struggle with that. And now if you have the Dyson Supersonic and you haven't used this attachment, baby girl,
let me put you the full point.
And if you don't have the Dyson, do not worry, because I have an alternative for you. But you will need this little baby right here. This is a little pick, and it helps a lot with root volume, babes. The advantage of having the Dyson and having this attachment is that you'll only need one tool. But if you do not have it, you're gonna need a pick and you're gonna need your hair dryer. I'm gonna demonstrate first with the Dyson, like with the Dyson pick attachment. So this little pick attachment can be used in different ways depending on what you want or what you need from your hair. If you have very tight and curly roots, a way to like kind of fluff out those roots to give you a little bit more of a lift, of a fluffy lift, is to, I'm not gonna turn it on right now, but I'm just gonna show first. You can do this and extend your roots to kind of give it that lift, obviously with the Dyson on. But if you are like me and you struggle with like flatter roots, what you can do is this. You're gonna hold your hair, set the temperature to low, do not burn your hair, and do this. So basically what I did in my roots is like a little bit of teasing. Instead of brushing in that direction, I grabbed my hair and I brushed inwards while having the Dyson on, obviously. And as you can see, that already helped. Look at the difference. This is very flat and this already has a bit of lift, and I still haven't scrunched out my hair. So the fact that it looks like this already with just literally 3 passes of this attachment, come on now. Now the alternative, if you do not have the Dyson but you kind of want to get the same effect, you put your regular like little attachment that comes with like every hair dryer ever. You can insert your pick like this inside your hair and aim your hair dryer at the roots while you're kind of like holding the pick like this. After doing that for literally just like a couple of seconds, you can grab the pick and start doing this to your hair. Just at the roots, of course. If you have a bit of a gel cast around your roots, this will also help. Rake it. And you can of course do this all over your hair. It doesn't just have to be the front parts. You can do it in the back too. This step is completely optional. This is just if by any chance you also struggle with the same thing that I struggled with. All right, and now that I'm done with that, I'm just gonna go scrunch out this scrunch. You already know how I do it. It's nothing new. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Hair has been scrunched out and these are my little diffusing results. So as you can see, like we got quite a good balance between volume and also definition. I'm gonna get a little closer. See, like we got good definition everywhere. We got some really cute clumps everywhere. The definition is there, but so is the volume. It's really important for me to kind of like meet those two things in the middle, and this little combination of hovering and scrunching, diffusing, is what's been working out for me, babes. This is how I get the results that I like the most. So I really hope this was not super boring. I know this was a very short one, but I still hope that you found it entertaining and helpful in any type of way. If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking and subscribing to my channel. Also follow me on Instagram at nemesismarie06 for more wavy hair content and daily shenanigans of my life. And most importantly, girls, boys, gender non-binaries, have a great rest of your day. Happy holidays, bitch.